Hi, today we'll just be going over the recap of the last few weeks of the market. So today you can see that Bitcoin's actually just going down. It's a red day currently. We do have a red month starting here, so today I'm going to be talking about I'm just going to be talking about the general market as well. I'm going to be talking about the dollar and like some other factors that come into play for the economy that will tie to cryptocurrency and also forex stuff. Maybe a little bit on stocks, so just kind of like a general overview. So I'll try to do that from now on. Try to go through all of the topics. So I apologize for not being able to make a video every week. Right now it's been every 2 weeks because I have an exam coming up. So after that I'll be making a video every week. So anyways, we'll just start on Bitcoin today. So you can see that we do have a red month starting here, and I did say in chat earlier. Also, you can hit me up on Codeberries on TradingView, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Doesn't really matter if you want to talk about coding, anything trading. You can hit me up. I'll try to answer you. Or if I have time, I'll reply to your messages, whatever. So right now I'm kind of just working on a trading bot, so I'm coding like a trading bot. I'm starting to do that as a hobby, just for fun. So I'm kind of like starting an actual coding bot. So it's only going to work for forex, by the way. And the reason is because it's more stable. There's no pumps and dumps. One person can't just like control the market. For example, like Elon Musk, he can't control the whole market, and there's other factors into that. But anyways, I'll talk about that later. So right now, just from where the price is going, so this was the bull run here. Does it look like a continued bull run? Well, we had the months spike, right? We had the 5-month spike or 6-month spike, and we had one green month, and then now we have a red month, kind of a heavy sell-off starting. We had 2 green months here, and then a red, and then so we had 6 here, few reds, 2 green, a red. Now we got 1 green here, kind of a bigger green. We got a red again. So it's not really, doesn't look like this 6-month kind of bull run, massive bull run is starting. I did say before the volume was decreasing. So this video probably will be like how to trade cryptocurrency, how to trade forex, kind of about mostly on technical analysis and a broad overview of the market. So I'm on the monthly chart for new traders or new investors. So each month here is 1 month. We have pretty much the median line. The midpoint area is around 35. That could go down if it continues to go down, but right now we have around 35 or so. So let's talk about some support lines here. So let's just let's do that first. So let's say whoops. So let's say, okay, well, where's our first monthly support? So our first monthly support is actually at 58. What is that? Where does that close? Actually, no. Yeah, it's around 58. So I guess the open of that red. Top of the green area. Yeah, so top of the green. So initially it was here. That was 61. So we've broken through that. I don't really use support lines too often, just because it's not very algorithmic for me. Like if you're trying to code this, it wouldn't work. Like the computer wouldn't be able to figure out, oh well, where's the support, unless you actually you code it somehow. So anyways, the next one I guess would be, because if we're going up, then the resistance would be the bottom of the red, and if we're going down, then it would be top of the green, basically. That's a theory that what was his name? Jason Stapleton. He was like an old school trader. That was his theory. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But anyways, we do have some momentum starting to leave the overbought area. So we have the RSI here and some other RSIs. So we have a default and some other ones. We have them starting to leave the overbought to heading back, well, not to neutral, but heading back to the neutral area, which is between 30 and 70. And then we have the MACD. We do have some divergence happening here. So there's a little, sorry, not a little bit. Actually, yeah, there is a little bit. So there's a little bit of price increase, right? From that high to that high, that tip to that tip, and then to this base, to that base. There's a little bit of increasing momentum. But have a look at the RSI here. You can see that there's a lot of decreasing momentum. The default one is the yellow one. So there's a lot of, so default is 14 period. So there's a very much a lot of decreasing momentum. So that's a huge divergence. That's very big. That's quite a lot. Like there wasn't even that much here, right? So there's a lot. We have the fading volume for this exchange, but generally there is fading volume. For some reason there's not one ticker for the whole thing. I don't know why they did that, but there's we have generally fading volume. We haven't had this cross down yet. I've been talking about that for a long time. This, if you want to go long, again, it should be, from a monthly perspective, it should be negative infinity in that shaded area. It should be like red going to blue. That's where you want to buy. You don't want to buy on the opposite end, right? You want to wait for a retracement and then maybe see some momentum swing up like this, and it's negative heading into positive. This is negative heading into positive. Right now it's positive heading into negative, so you don't want to buy here. I mentioned that before. You can if you want, but personally I wouldn't. That's pretty much it. Is it? Okay, so right now it's not showing the moving averages. Might be too big of a period. So basically we have the let me remove those lines actually. So we have so now we're on the weekly chart. We have this momentum crossing down. You can see the shorter period, which is a red and blue line, they're crossing down. Perhaps they're starting to get oversold on the shorter period momentum, but again, we definitely could come down here. So this is RSI. You can definitely use the default ones and try other ones. You can test them out. This is MACD, and this is a faster one. And these channels are Keltner channels. You can also use Bollinger Bands, but Bollinger Bands give a lot of fake signals. Personally, I just like Keltners. There's a lot of Keltners on here. Right now we have the median line around 52. So I actually don't have any moving averages on this. There's a band. I have a big band. I think I've even coded one. But it's pretty much above all the moving averages right now. We could see this going short for a while. Basically that's everything here. Nothing really to discuss here. We have, like we said, we had the median line at about 52. Let's look at the daily chart. And we've come down below the median line. We're not oversold yet. But again, if it was going long-term weekly, this could, keep going down and then come up and then keep going down. So it could change. But in the shorter term, the next week or so, could we get down maybe a little farther down? We could. Because of course, that yellow line hasn't become oversold yet. So once we've crossed 50 especially, and once we cross here, you want to look for a cross from overbought to neutral, and then you want to look for a cross from neutral to back down, and then cross from neutral to oversold and back up again. But right now we could be heading down there, right? Back down here. And personally, I only look for trades when they're like overbought or oversold. That's one of my conditions usually. Most of the time it works out to be that way anyways. It won't always be on all time frames, but definitely, the 4 hour and 1 day for sure. If the 1 week, if you're really going for a long, a long trade, like several weeks or months, then you'd have a look at the bigger charts, and it's always good to check the bigger charts too. We do have the 4 hour taking a dive, but you can get caught on here. It looks like it does want to touch that moving average down here. That's at 57. So how long have we been above the moving average? You know, for quite a while, since 30th September. So what moving average is that? That's the 365-day moving average, I think, or 200-day. You can check. But yeah, so what moving averages do, right? They come down. So can I get a drawing? Can I draw here? Okay, so we can't draw here. So look what it's doing. It's coming up above the moving averages. Can I get another color? Can you give me another color here? Is that 2 lines there? So yeah, okay, so there's no other color. So it's this white line. So it comes up, right? It's above the moving average, that white line here in the middle. And it comes below, and it comes back up, right? Then it comes back down, touches moving average, probably below. That's what a moving average does. If you've heard people tell you, oh yeah, well you only trade when it crosses down or above, or crosses up or it crosses down. I mean, that could be true, but that's not necessarily true, because look how many times it faked out. I'll tell you the truth here. I'll give you the secret. I'll give you the secret, okay? This is a secret. This is legit the secret. This can definitely help you seriously. So it definitely comes down below, and when it's like a sticky line. Think of it like a sticky line, right? It's a sticky line. This is a major secret of trading, honestly. No one's gonna tell you this. It comes down, right? And then once it's down below, it connects with it again at a later time. And once it comes up above, it connects with it again at a later time. And in that time, it's possible for that moving average to come up, depending on the time frame, depending on the conditions. You have to test that out yourself. But that's what happens. Because look, let me show you something. Let's go on the 30-minute for a sec. Look at that. Right? Let's zoom that out for a sec. Look at that. Came up. Then pros, right? Trading pros. People who use leverage and whatnot, or they're trading huge lots with us on spot. They go short here, right? And it comes deep. Then maybe they'll go long for a little term, or not. Maybe it'll dump more and meet back here, and they'll come break even, right? That's how it works. This is a secret here. No one's gonna tell you that. And I've been doing this for I don't even know how many years. I don't even want to tell you. So that's a secret. That'll definitely help you a lot. And you have to see, right? You have to see. You have to test. You have to try different integers, all that, right? You have to try all of that. So you know it can take time to test, and that's moving averages can really help your trading. Anyways, we'll move on from Bitcoin and check out the rest of the market quickly. So we're at 13 minutes. We'll try to finish up by 20 minutes. So let me just remove those lines. So I recommend testing different inputs on different time frames, different integers, all that, different kind of moving averages. Test all that. You know, use your RSI, use your MACD, use some kind of bands. Test them all out. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. Okay, so yeah, test all that out. And that's where the idea for the trading bot came into play when I realized that things were more algorithmic than I thought they were. Like it's more of like this is all computer stuff. Like these are computers making orders, and computers making sells, making buys, processing information, data processing, right? This is big data processing. So anyways, we'll move on to ETH quickly. So same idea almost, pretty much with BTC. It's the same idea. So we got NA on that 1 year. Maybe it doesn't have enough data to calculate his ETH month, this ticker symbol itself, or not, or it's maybe just what do you call it? It doesn't have enough data, or it's the wrong ticker. Well, not the best ticker. There's probably old or better ticker on here somewhere. But anyways, you need, I don't have all the moving averages on here, unfortunately. I have a family member who has an account. Possibly I could log on to theirs next time. But just have a look at the shorter time periods. And if I had a 200 MA and a another MA, you could see, because moving averages are really key. You'll notice that a lot of analysts, financial analysts, they all use moving averages. They all use RSI. They pretty much all use MACD. I don't know too many that use Keltners, but I do. So a lot of them use Bollinger Bands. But that was a pretty textbook retrace, and we could come back down here, right? Because look what happened last time. I don't have the 200 on here. I'm not sure if that's 200 or 1 year, but you can check. But yeah, you can see here how it came down. This is only on the 4-hour, right? So perhaps we might see a little bit of up, or we could just see a continuation. See, the problem is though with that, you can get caught. You can be like, oh, I want to go long, but that thing just keeps, the moving average just keeps moving down. So that can happen on shorter time frames. So be careful. It's not always it's not a for sure thing. You know, you have to know, and you can't just know by saying that. I mean, you can try it, you can test it and see what happens, right? That's where back testing comes into play. Someone reached out to me. They noticed my trades or something, then they wanted to actually back test my algorithm. Excuse me. They actually had like they're good at PineScript. So I only know a little bit of PineScript. I coded an indicator in PineScript. But I'm not actually sure how to backtest it. I haven't learned PineScript. The documentation on PineScript itself is hard. There's not too much information out there. You just kind of have to play with it. But again, you know, that moving average should continue to move down, and if you go along here, you know, maybe you might be lucky just to break even. So that's what that you have to be careful. You just have to know. Basically, you have to test. Just test. So that's one thing. Anyways, we'll talk about I'll show you Dodge, how bad it looks. Is that today? Have a look at Dodge. You move these lines here. What do you call it? Yeah, so have a look at this. Where's the momentum? Look at this. This momentum wants to cross really, really bad. This one's already crossing. And the median line's down here. Support was really back here at like a cent. So this is pretty, it looks like Elon dumped his shares when he made it public. Oh yeah, Tesla went public that he was dumping. That was like last week. And I had a post on my stock twits that I said that Elon was going to dump his shares, and have a look. Look at that massive divergence. He already knew. So whoever's working for him told him, like, yeah, like, look, this divergence is huge. You need to dump now, and maybe get everybody to dump too, so you can buy back later. Have a look at that. Massive bearish divergence. Just massive. Look at that spike, right? And have a look at these indicators just moving down. Moving down. Histogram moved down overall. Histogram here moved down, right? This wants to leave overbought, head back down. I don't think there's getting any moving averages on here. Okay, so we are getting something. What was that? We definitely drifted far from that moving average. We might only get the 200-day, if anything. But definitely, I think we could come back down here to 500s. Maybe 4s. We won't go over it too long. When's the last time it actually came down to that line? Was to 2020, so we know we could, definitely could come back down there, for sure. So let's talk about, oh yeah, Sheep. Sheep is basically just doing this thing where it's like, I want to make a retrace and then take off again. Where's the median line? So this median line could move up. So I actually didn't sell a wall of these because this is only weekly median line, so perhaps I could, or maybe, you know, something like that. Maybe like, I don't know, like something like that. Maybe this could flatten out, something like that. So it could maybe come up a little bit, give or take. Supports down here, is a lot of momentum. Perhaps we might only get the tail a few more weeks and perhaps it'll take off, because again we have no data for monthly. Nothing, right? Zip, we got nothing here. So that would mean RSI is probably still negative. Like default RSI is probably less than 30 at this point, still monthly. So we probably have a long way to go. Cannabis run is starting, Canopy growth, check that out. Check out Eden, EDEN, starting to take off as well. CGC, so the general cannabis run is starting. Aurora Cannabis, Canopy growth, they're all starting to the monthly swing looks like it's starting to happen. We could get over that median line, you know, back up here, maybe even up here. Who really wants a spike? Maybe even break that, who knows? Tilray, everything, it's all looks like they're all moving together. A little bit of red today, but it was CGC was like it was down in the 11s, so it definitely came up to the 15s or even 16s, 17s. So it's looks like they're taking off. The weed ETFs are taking off. MJ and WEED somewhere. I had it. I'm not sure where it went. Organigram should be taking off. There it is. There's a weed ETF. Looks like CGC. It's also taking off. There's more companies in there. Maybe some tobacco companies in there too. Those are taking off. Yeah, so it looks like they're all taking off, so get in. Cannabis run is probably going to be happening. That's about it. Oh, Curaleaf. Yeah, so that looks like it's starting to take off too. I don't know, so they had some financial problems, so this one's starting to take off. This one probably RSI is still, so monthly is probably less than 30 still, so there's like a lot of room for this to run. Wasn't there an EMA on here before? Or maybe I changed the settings. So yeah, this one's definitely, we have the RSI leaving oversold and heading back into overbought. We did have some bullish divergence here. So yeah, so we did have a little bit of bullish divergence. Definitely did take off. I did see some bullish divergence before. Mostly just that it's you probably have to look at it on the daily to see it. We definitely did get across that median line. If we close above it, which we already did, that would be really good. We could see this come back up to here. Definitely, that would be super awesome. So check it out. They're opening dispensaries around the U.S. and Canada and growing operations. Let's see. Let's talk about the foreign exchange market now. So let me just go to my profile. So I don't really use it too much. I just come on here and like just look at charts. I don't really interact. But I started making some what do you call it? I started making some posts, and some people have reached out. So I'm mostly just getting into some testing of the trading bot on foreign exchange. So I started looking at it just kind of briefly, like I just looked at it, placed a trade, came back a month later and looked at it. That's all I did, because mostly I'm just studying the whole time. So there was a buy here at, what date was it? September 29th. I said long scalp euro. So it was 115. I said say 959. Anyways, it did go up. So you can see it did go up. 150. It did definitely go up. It went up like 40 pips to start, and it just definitely went up and continued for about 100 pips. So that was the first one. So I was like, okay, well, does this algorithm actually work? So then I was like, okay, well, I'll test it again on USDJPY. And we'll get into actually how to forex trade in the next video, because this is starting to things I've learned and that can probably help you. I'll post that next time. So because we're running out of time here, starting to be a long video, but I did say on October 26th, so I said go short. Price was 114.192. So it was here. So it did actually go short to so what was it? Yeah, what did we say? 114 something. It went down to 113. Oh, about 100 pips actually. So that was great. Then it really continued down for about almost 300. No, 200, maybe 200 pips. It continued down. So I'm not really sure about the take profit on it, and I'm still testing it. The back tester that was helping me, she kind of went MIA, so I'm not sure if she's going to still come back. But if anyways, I might try to learn Pine Script myself, or just try to test it in MT4 using C. So we'll see. So I'll be probably making videos about that in the future. So recently, I think maybe a couple days ago, I said go long GBP USD. So it was 134 exactly. Went down a little bit first and then just took off. Just blew up. It went up to maybe about 70, 80 pips, something like that. There was a little bit of, actually, so first it went up about 35 pips. Then it went down a little bit. About, how much did it go down? Went down, what, I don't even know what that low is. 5. Went to 5s. So it went down about 50 pips, 40, 50 pips. So you have to be careful with that. You definitely don't use stops. So that's number one, don't use stops. And I had a lot of people asking me, well, how do you not use stops? Well, you just don't use them. You have to use a very small lot and make sure you have enough money in there so that it can run. Using leverage, of course, right? So we'll get into that later. I have a lot of people asking me that in chat, like, how do you not use stops? I used to ask myself that question, because I'd see like pro traders on TV, they'd be like, yeah, I don't use stops. I'm like, well, how do you know it's going to go up? They just know, right? So anyway, so this was the cannabis canopy growth post. This one just started to blow up. Look at that MACD, just making a huge cross after several weeks of decline. Almost a year of decline, and just deciding to cross up and blow up. So we could see that run, so get into cannabis. Check out the other companies I talked about, like Eden. These are old posts. I don't really post on here too much. So that'll conclude today. Right now we're watching Euro, and we're watching the cryptos, the main cryptos, but for Forex we're watching Euro USD, so I'll just quickly show you why I'm watching it quickly. So we're watching this Euro USD and AUD USD, so Australian dollar, US dollar, and we're watching Euro, European dollar, and the US dollar. Why we're watching it is because we're starting to watch it because we can see there's a lot of decline here. There's a huge sell-off. People have been trying to go long here. Some of them have been stopped out on chat. I mean, I used to go on chat when I didn't have any idea of what to do, and still, you know, I'm still testing. A long time ago I used to come on here and, you know, place trades and be like, oh, I got stopped out or whatever. A lot of people are having that problem here, so I guess a lot of people are learning how to maybe control lots on Forex. There's a lot of, most of the new people are going to cryptocurrency, so anybody who's starting to trade at this time, seems like the majority is they're all trading crypto. Some people may go into Forex, but definitely many less. Well, could this be a potential scalp? Maybe back up here? Well, because I haven't confirmed anything yet, but you can see these are starting to get, you know, maybe like a little severely, it seems like kind of like a severe decline, right? Seems like a kind of like, it's, you know, this is going almost zero, right? These are starting to get oversold. have a look at the 4 hour. Look at that. How long has it been oversold? Look, since November 10th. That usually doesn't happen. Look, the last time that happened that long, this was what? 2 days. This is what? 5-6 days, right? 6 days now. When's the last time that happened? Maybe back in the summer, right? Maybe back the summer. How many days is that? 5th. Yeah, so maybe since the summer, since it's been this low. And look, when's the last time it was actually this low? Whoops. Look at the yellow line. Look, 14, right? Look, how long? Tell me. 14. Back here. Maybe back here. This one is even lower than that. That was in June, so definitely a long, decent amount of time ago. So for perspective to go long, it could be coming up soon, maybe not yet. I'll keep you updated on that. You can hit me up on Coberries. You can hit me up on Facebook if you want, but you can just message me here. Doesn't matter. I'll try to get back to it. I am studying for my exam, so this is just me taking a break. But then I'll just talk about Australian dollar also having a lot of decline. There was it did have a little bit of, I guess this was when was this? A few days ago, they decided to go long. So it is coming pretty oversold. Like it's having the same decline, like it's really starting to dump. So people are kind of watching it. You can see that maybe we could come a little bit lower, so we do have some momentum crossing over. Weekly momentum crossing down, faster and slower ones starting to cross down. So that's why I'm just watching it to see, maybe we could get something. Monthly crossing down. So we'll talk about it in the next video. If you did learn something from this video, and if you did like the video, if you want to see more free investing or trading educational videos and or coding videos, you can subscribe to my channel if you'd like to. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.